Number 10. Classic Star Wars complements the original Marvel title. The classic Star Wars title reformats the newspaper strips by writer Archie Goodwin and artist Al Williamson, originally published from October 1980 through March 1984. Dark Horse took great care to eliminate the redundancies inherited in the newspaper strips and color the exquisite illustrations by Al Williamson. Al Williamson supplied additional artwork to help the story flow in the comic format. In my opinion, the comic provides a much more enjoyable way to binge read these stories than reading the actual newspaper strips themselves. The tales in classic Star Wars are set between the first and second films. The big advantage these stories have over the Marvel run from Star Wars number 7 through 38, which also occur between these two films, is they have the benefit of knowing what happens in the second movie. So they are able to tell stories Marvel wasn't able to, such as the building of the Executor by the Empire, the discovery of Hoth by Luke Skywalker, and the evacuation of the Massassi outpost on Yavin 4. Archie Goodwin also wrote most of the stories during this period in the Marvel title. I believe he planned for the newspaper strips to follow the tales told in the comics. Even if this wasn't Goodwin's plan, with exceptions, these stories align perfectly after the Marvel tales. Classic Star Wars is already fantastic, but being able to reconcile them along with the original Marvel stories adds to their appeal. The Empire builds another superweapon to destroy the Rebel Alliance. Number 9. The Executor is constructed. We never see the Executor prior to the Empire Strikes Back adaptation in Marvel's original run. In the classic Star Wars title, Darth Vader hints at the Executor early in issue number 2 when he says the Empire's best move against the Rebels is with something bigger and better. In both the Marvel run and the newspaper strip, the Empire has established a blockade of Yavin 4, a decision that is made by Darth Vader himself. Admiral Griff is appointed by Vader to lead the Imperial blockade. We learn later in the same issue that Darth Vader has ordered the construction of his flagship Super Star Destroyer, a spacecraft significantly larger than a standard Imperial-class Star Destroyer at the shipyards of Fondor. He intends to contain the rebels at Yavin 4 and to crush them with his new battlecruiser. Luke volunteers to go to the shipyards to learn about the Imperial's new secret weapon, and in classic Star Wars number 7, he is able to tell Han and Leia about Darth Vader's new toy. It isn't until issue number 8 that Luke is able to deliver the information he recovered from the Fondor shipyards to Rebel Command at the Massassi outpost. Once the information is known, the Rebels are now in a race against time to find a new location for a base and secure allies to assist them with abandoning their current location. The Executor would not become operational until classic Star Wars number 13 when it destroys the Rebel outpost, Lakin Depot. While Darth Vader is positioning Imperial forces to eliminate the rebels, a couple of our heroes commit themselves to the cause. Number 8. Han Solo and Chewbacca are active in the rebellion. In the Marvel title, Han Solo and Chewbacca cross paths with Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia several times, but the pair are always leaving their rebel friends. After the Death Star is destroyed, they depart Yavin 4 in Star Wars number 7, only to be captured by Crimson Jack, who also has imprisoned Princess Leia in issue number 11. Han, Leia, and Chewbacca rescue Luke Skywalker from the Drexel system in Star Wars number 14, and end up on the wheel together in issue number 18. At the conclusion of that adventure in issue number 23, Han and Chewie depart in the Millennium Falcon, while Luke and Leia aboard Simon Greyshade's yacht return to the Massassi outpost. Han and Chewie again run into Luke Skywalker on Tatooine in Star Wars number 31 and help the rebels ensure the Outpost World Junction isn't destroyed by Tag Industries' Omega Frost initiative. After Luke's encounter with Domina Tag and Darth Vader in Star Wars number 37, Han and Chewie again leave the rebels, only to return because of a bounty hunter he runs into at the end of the issue. There was never any indication that Han and Chewie were working for the rebellion. Instead, they just coincidentally ran into their friends and helped them out when they did. This changed in the classic Star Wars series. Han Solo and Chewbacca are permanently based at the Massassi outpost and even go on missions for the rebellion, both with their other friends, but sometimes alone. Han and Chewie race to rescue Luke and Leia, who are scouting for a suitable planet for a rebel base in classic Star Wars number 1, and after an excursion to Ord Mantell, they return with them to the rebel base on Yavin 4 in issue number 2. In issue number 4, Han Solo delivers Leia to Cabal, and in issue number 6, Luke rendezvous with the other heroes on the same planet. They don't return to the Massassi outpost immediately because of attacks by Imperial TIE fighters, but instead go to another rebel base on Aquarius in classic Star Wars number 7 and 8. They do return to the main rebel base in issue number 8, where Han and Chewie help defend it from a Night Beast, a creature left behind by the original builders of the Massassi temples. Han volunteers to find a power gem to use against the Executor in issue number 11. This is his and Chewie's first solo mission for the rebellion. They do end up acquiring a gem from a retired space pirate named Raskar, which is told in issue number 11 and 12. The pair would continue to undertake missions for the rebellion for the remainder of the series, even after they moved their base of operation to Hoth. It's logical that Han and Chewie are rebels, even if Han is reluctant to consider himself one. Later in the Marvel title, the rebels would expend considerable resources searching for and rescuing Han, and in Return of the Jedi, he is promoted to general. None of this would make sense if Han wasn't already a member of the Alliance. Another detail that is expanded on in the classic Star Wars title is Han and Leia's relationship. Before we continue the countdown, please like and subscribe if you are enjoying this video. More than 90% of you are not subscribed, and a subscription would ensure you don't miss any future videos. As always, please leave a comment letting me know what you think. Number 7. Han Solo and Princess Leia's relationship progresses. In the Marvel title, the only time a hint of a romantic relationship between Han and Leia is suggested is when they are captured by Crimson Jack in Star Wars number 11. In that issue, Han lies and tells Jack that he and the princess fell in love after he helped rescue Leia from the Empire. He kisses Leia, and she seizes on this awkward moment to convey to him that Luke needs rescuing in the Drexel system. Neither Han or Leia were serious about the kiss. Han was using the moment to manipulate Jack, and Leia uses the situation as well to maneuver both Jack and Han into assisting her. Archie Goodwin had the benefit of knowing Han and Leia became romantically involved in the second movie when he wrote the newspaper strips, and he builds up their relationship. They still trade barbs like they did in the Marvel title, but some of the quips are more flirtatious. Han is much more forthcoming with his romantic feelings for Leia. In classic Star Wars number 1, they are forced to land on Ord Mantell to repair the Millennium Falcon, and Han Solo attempts to seduce Leia their first night there. Han is unsuccessful, but his next attempt goes much better. In classic Star Wars number 3, Han and Chewie deliver Leia to Cabal, and she orders him back to base. Han is flummoxed that Leia didn't even thank him and Chewbacca for getting her through the Imperial blockade, and he storms after her, but she is adamant to not let her personal feelings mix with her duties to the rebellion. Han then leans in to kiss her, but it is left up to the reader to interpret what transpires. When we see them again in issue number 6, Han returns to Cabal to pick up Leia and Luke, who has returned from his trip to the Fondor shipyards. Leia uses Han's feelings for her to manipulate him into volunteering to retrieve a power gem for the rebellion in classic Star Wars number 11. Power gems were artifacts used by the pirates of Iridium to disrupt spacecraft force fields, and Leia and General Dodonna think they can use one against the Executor. Leia exploiting Han this way rings true for her character. She is always conflicted between her feelings for Han and her duties as a rebel leader. The flirty banter between Han and Leia continues throughout the series. In a scene reminiscent of their quarrel in the corridor on Echo Base from the Empire Strikes Back film, Han, Luke, Chewie, and the droids finally make it to the new rebel base on Hoth, but they are being followed by a strange ship in issue number 18. Leia is rightfully concerned their new location may be discovered by the Empire, and she confronts Han and tells him he needs to take care of this problem. It is a great moment that captures the state of their relationship remarkably well. While Han is courting Leia, Luke makes a discovery that the rebellion desperately needs. Number 6. Luke Skywalker discovers Hoth. In the original Marvel run and this title, our heroes spend some time looking for a suitable location for a new rebel base. It is ironic that Luke discovers the next main base by happenstance. In classic Star Wars number 12, Luke is returning from the planet Aridus when his spaceship is attacked by Imperial TIE fighters. Luke pilots his craft into the tail of a comet to escape. When he maneuvers his ship to break from the comet's tail, his craft is hit by meteors and he crashes onto the ice world Hoth. Luke is about to die of exposure when he is saved by a woman riding a tauntaun. The woman named Frigga takes Luke back to her father, who refuses to help Luke repair his communicator. Frigga agrees to help Luke, however, but her father pursues them back to Luke's ship and he accidentally shoots his own daughter. Luke is about to be shot as well, but he ignites his lightsaber and strikes down the father. Luke then discovers both Frigga and her father are androids created by Imperial technicians. Luke is able to repair the ship's communicator, and he is rescued by our other heroes. The Alliance agrees with Luke's idea to use Hoth as their new base, but they need help from an ally to evacuate Yavin 4. Number 5. Admiral Ackbar is introduced. Admiral Ackbar and the Mon Calamari make a surprising appearance in this title. In classic Star Wars number 13 and 14, our heroes travel to meet Admiral Ackbar to enlist his help now that the Executor is operational and on its way to the main Rebel base. The Rebels want their new allies to provide a diversion while they evacuate their location on Yavin 4. In the story, both the Mon Calamari and our heroes are trapped on Deluge, and they work together to free the Millennium Falcon from giant worm-like creatures while evading an Imperial presence on the planet. I have a video that delves into the lore and importance of Admiral Ackbar's introduction in the newspaper strip. I will leave a link at the end of this video. It is a nice touch that the Mon Calamari are working with the rebellion much earlier than shown in the films. While Admiral Ackbar is introduced, we need to say goodbye to another rebel leader. Number 4. General Dodonna's absence from Hoth is explained. In classic Star Wars number 14, we meet Vrad Dodonna, a commander in the Rebel Alliance and the son of General Dodonna. Vrad has returned to the Massassi outpost from a failed mission to slow the approaching Executor. His spacecraft is damaged, but Luke knows this has been faked and Vrad did not receive the damage from the mission because he saw Vrad's undamaged starship when the Millennium Falcon came across debris from the battle. Luke and Vrad both volunteer to use the power gem to slow the Executor, with Vrad leading the operation. The Rebels also begin their evacuation of the base. When they spot the Executor commanded by Darth Vader in issue number 14, Vrad betrays Luke and abandons him on a nearby planetoid. From the planetoid, they witness the Executor turning, and Luke knows it is because Vader senses his presence. Vrad leaves Luke, and the Executor begins chasing Vrad's spacecraft, thinking Luke is aboard. Han appears in the Millennium Falcon to retrieve Luke from the planetoid, knowing Vrad would betray him. In the end, Vrad swings his spacecraft around to ram the Executor, and the larger craft diverts all shields forward to limit the impact. Vrad's ship explodes and fails to damage the Super Star Destroyer, but the Millennium Falcon is able to attack the craft from behind, damaging its steering. Darth Vader contacts Admiral Griff and commands him to begin an all-out strike against the Rebel base. The loss of Vrad is devastating to General Dodonna. As the Rebels are evacuating the planet, he promotes Luke to commander to take the vacancy left by his son's death. He orders the last transport to depart, and while Imperial TIE bombers approach, he self-destructs the base, killing himself but taking out the entire fleet of bombers. If Vrad had lived, Dodonna would have left the base with the others. The Rebel fleet's next destination was discovered by Luke earlier. Number 3. The Rebels escape to Echo Base on Hoth. In the Marvel series, we never see the Rebels evacuate Yavin 4 or establish their base on Hoth. In classic Star Wars number 17, the Rebel fleet makes it to Hoth, where General Riken has already begun setting up Echo Base. It takes Han and Luke a little longer to make it there, but they do finally arrive in issue number 18. Unfortunately, they were followed by another spacecraft, and the pair, along with Chewie, are sent to intercept the mysterious ship. In issue number 19, they learn the other craft is Raskar's, the retired pirate that Han received the power gem from. In issue number 20, we get to explore more of Hoth, including the discovery of a large cavern filled with Lumi spice that is guarded by a dragon slug. Thanks to a tip by Raskar, a fateful meeting takes place between a Dark Lord and a bounty hunter. Number 2. Darth Vader meets Boba Fett. Boba Fett appears in 2 panels of classic Star Wars number 19. Jabba the Hutt receives word from Raskar that he has captured Han Solo in the Hoth system, and this information is passed on to Boba Fett. Boba Fett enlists Dengar, Bosk, and a few other bounty hunters to travel to the system, and they capture Raskar's ship. Dengar is incorrectly referred to as Zucus, and it isn't clear why Dark Horse didn't correct this when they reworked the newspaper strips. The bounty hunters fly Raskar's ship, the Millennium Falcon, and their own ship to Ord Mantell, where Boba Fett is waiting. In issue number 20, Darth Vader has also made the trip to Ord Mantell for supplies and is invited to a meeting with Boba Fett. Fett tells Vader he is seeking Han Solo for his employer Jabba the Hutt, and Luke Skywalker frequently travels with him. He suggests capturing one can lure the other. Vader tells Fett if he is successful, then they will meet again. Vader meeting Fett prior to the second film makes sense, although Fett does ultimately fail to capture Han or Luke in this tale. One of the other bounty hunters that is among Fett's crew is Score, a bounty hunter Han Solo ran into on Ord Mantell earlier. Number 1. Han Solo runs into the bounty hunter of Ord Mantell again. In classic Star Wars number 1 and 2, Han Solo runs into Score on Ord Mantell. Score is seeking the bounty placed on Han by Jabba the Hutt, but Han is able to thwart him and escape. Han and Score's escapades catch the attention of an Imperial fleet performing maneuvers in the system, and Score is captured and sent to the spice mines of Kessel. In issue number 20, the bounty hunters leave Raskar and his crew aboard Raskar's ship in orbit over Ord Mantell and take Han, Luke, and Chewie to an abandoned factory on the planet's surface using their craft in the Millennium Falcon. Score arranges for the trio to escape. The heroes head to the Falcon, but Score is there waiting. Score is about to kill Han, but Luke uses the Force to throw his aim off, and Han rushes him. In the melee, Score is shot and killed. What about the bounty hunter Han ran into in the final pages of Marvel's Star Wars number 37? Well, Marvel added this to lead into the second film. The location is never mentioned, so this could have happened on any planet. The bounty hunter says he won't be the last to come after Han, which leads nicely into the classic Star Wars encounters on Ord Mantell. This is another example of the two series complementing each other. So those are my 10 reasons why the classic Star Wars title is worth reading. There is a lot packed into these 20 issues, and if you enjoy reading the original Marvel run, you will appreciate this title as well. What do you think? Have you read the title before, and what do you like or dislike about it? Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and leave a like for this video. And please, leave a comment letting me know what you think.